Stop D Nation, it's Stop D here, and we're gonna look at some tips and tricks for mastering campaign mode. So this first one, we're gonna look at defending, goalkeeping, corners, all of those sort of like big ones that I know are like big ticket items of things that people really want to kind of know how to master in this one. So we're really over dramatizing it now. We put together, you can see here, a full bronze team. Every player on this team is bronze. We're gonna go in against Manchester United, so 120 overall team versus a 57 overall team, just to give you some ideas of how you can really play defense, how you can really play goalkeeper, everything like that, to make sure that you are getting the most success out of this mode. So we're focused on defense because while it is great to be able to score goals, if they keep scoring on you, it's going to make it difficult. So we know a lot of people are like, okay, well, how do I defend? Lots of different ways to defend. People talk about, you know, letting it auto defend using second defender. I'm going to talk about manual defending and times when it's good to use second defender, times when it's good to, you know, click on the player to have your player rush them and stuff like that, and some tips and tricks to make sure you master manual defending. Because while it's great to have them auto defend, when they get to being like a very big differential against you, auto defending does not always work. So I would say typically in a string of like 10-15 games, I would maybe let 120 overall team score maybe 3 or 4 times in total across all of those games against us. So at most, probably I'd only let in 1 goal against there, so you really wouldn't have to score as many goals. And that's a 120 versus 57, which you're probably not going to have, because in order to get to this point, unless you're doing a challenge, you're not going to have a 57 overall team because you needed a 90 to get to this point. So really, this is kind of over dramatized from this, but I want to give you some ideas of the best ways and the best tips and tricks for defending, goalkeeping, and corners. First thing up is the goalkeeper. The big one here is what you're going to want to do. As you can see, he got past our defense, and the first thing we did is we swiped up on the through ball, because that allows your goalkeeper to rush. So right here, we swipe up, our goalkeeper comes out. It doesn't always work. You see there, he's still scoring on it, but it gives you a much better chance than you will get any other way. So you see, we come out as much as we can, causes Pogba to put it just to the left of the net. So I would say maybe every like 50% of the time it works, but 50% of the time is better than like the 0% of the time it's going to work for the other ones. And then again, sometimes when you're going against them, passing back to your goalkeeper can be the best option. So you see there, they try to chip it, goes to the side as well. So those are some good tips and tricks on there. One of the other things you notice there, as we went forward, you want to push back. So if you're going to there, when they came for a long ball, if you want to try and get possession of that ball, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to try and back off or pass backwards. So put your control stick backwards and try and head it backwards or pass backwards, because in a lot of cases, if they're stronger players than you, they're going to win in that one-on-one situation. So if you want to try and get there, if you notice that we were in front of them and the ball was going to go behind, they're just going to shove us out of the way and they're going to put it back. So what you want to do is you want to actually head it backwards if you can, or to the side, anywhere but pushing forward on the control stick, because by pushing forward on the control stick, you're going to push your player forward and give them the chance of that. So push back on the control stick and try and get into that position as well. So the next one we got up here is how to manually defend, and this is the biggest piece of advice that I can give you in this one. So the big thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to control the player and run to where the player is going, not where the player is. So if you see there, we're going exactly, we can see Lukaku is heading this direction, so we head in the direction to meet up with him versus going where he is. If you go where he is, he's going to run right past you. So go to where the player's going, not where they are. And the other thing you can do there, when you get close to him, when you're about, you know, maybe a foot away, tap that sprint tackle button, and that's going to allow you to get in there. So you can see in a lot of these cases, we're tapping that sprint tackle button. That helps you get there. Again, on defense, when they cross it in, you saw there, we were there first, because what you do as soon as you know they're crossing, because when they're on the wing, they are going to cross it in. That is like without a doubt, they're going to cross it in. So what you want to do is you want to run backwards with them, so that you're going to be behind them when you do it. So as soon as they cross, you hold back on the stick, because while you can't necessarily change the player right away, and you can switch as quick as you can control where that player is going to be as soon as they're highlighted. So there again, as soon as the player gets highlighted, he's running backwards rather than taking that extra second to do it after you know what's happening. So once you know that they are going to get past you, hold that stick down and be in that position before it. But I would say definitely the biggest strategy is to make sure that when you're doing this, you are you're going to where the position where the player is. You saw there again, we saw the players going there, we're going there, because if you go at them, it doesn't work. It doesn't work in that one. So you see, we put a goal goal in. Nice goal right there. Again, Lukaku, we kind of go in that position of where we know he's going. The other thing that you want to do is you want to try and jockey the players. So instead of exactly, you can see right there, we're not going at the player. We're pulling back and letting them play around with the ball. While this may not be the fastest way to get the ball back, what it does do is it sort of forces them to be where you want to be. Eventually, they chip it in and we get the ball back. So pull back on your players. Don't always go for the attack. In some cases, try and jockey back. So again, here we run to the player versus going to where the player is. So where the player is going versus to where the player is, and we meet up with them. Again, at the very least, if you can get on the player and you can like get them to a position where you're slowing them down enough so another player can come in, that's going to be beneficial there. So our first player missed, our second player runs to where we know they're going, because they're going towards the net. They're obviously going to run towards the net when they're in that position, so you want to kind of go where they're going to go and meet up with them in that spot. So there you go, some good tips on defending when you're doing your own defensive play. Make sure you're pulling back on it. Make sure you're doing some jockeying, letting them be in that position. Make sure that you're going in those ones. The other thing you can do, you can notice here, this is a situation where second defending is helpful. You put the second defender button on when you're kind of in the mid area, when they're in the attacking area. This is also when it's a good idea to tap the player and have them rush at it. The advantage to doing it in here versus the defensive end is that when you use the second defender, you notice our players get out of position. So if you do that on defense, when you're the last line of defense, they're going to be right past you and both your players are going to be there. But when you're in this mid area, it is helpful to kind of make them go backwards, to make them do things. But if you notice, a lot of times they do go backwards. Putting that second defender is one of the reasons why they're doing that. So when you're doing this, keep all of that second defender, tapping on it like you saw there in the midfield area or in your attacking area. That's going to be the most helpful time for that, because it does help kind of, you know, coordinate where you're going, but it does take your players out of position. So you see there, it worked out for us because our players were kind of more grouped in that area and we were able to get down there and get an attempt at goal. So the last thing I want to talk about, and this is a big one that a lot of people are saying, in the new corner system. So in the new corner system, you can see here we're going to do one little attack up here, just kind of stick skilling it back and forth, which is really all you can do when you have this. So we stick skill it back and forth, we put the goal in, but in the next time we get into the box, we take the shot and De Gea makes a save. So on the corner, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to tap it right in the middle, and this part is key. Wait till your player gets in front. So you saw we didn't swipe right away, we waited till our player was in front and then we swipe. Now in these two first examples, we didn't score because their heading is super low, but we did get to the ball first. So if you had really good heading or a situation like this, we put it in and wait. So tap, wait, and then swipe. So you see we tap, we wait till the player gets in position. Once we're in position, that is when we swipe. So use the auto to get your player in position. Once they're in position, that's when you can swipe, and that's going to get you the goal. I would say probably 75 to 80% of the time you can get a goal. The better your heading, the better your strength, the better chances that is going to happen. So we're going to go in, we're going to do one kind of campaign match, and then we're just going to see how we do. But anyways, those are our tips and tricks. Hopefully that helps you to get a little bit to see some of that in action. But it has been a pleasure. Let's show you some gameplay to finish this off. Alright, so you know how it happens when we record. We always forget to turn on the microphone. So we're going to do a little bit of after recording of this one, talking about the match we go. So the first one, we did a little bit of stick skill to get in there and get the goal. This is a full bronze team, by the way, 57 overall team that we're going with, and we bring them to extra time. And I'm going to have to bring up the thing that happens at the end, because I do not know if we deserved the loss in this one, but we definitely deserved to not win because of the whole incident with not turning our microphone on. That's like right away. You should not get the win on that one. But anyways, Pogba's coming into this one. So going back on here, you can see our defense. We come in there a little bit too aggressive on there, but a foul from that far out isn't really super dangerous. In the middle, you can see we're playing back on Mkhitaryan. He's running that way, so we're running towards him. Again, we run to where Jones is. We actually get the ball, in this case, right back to our star striker. 53rd minute right now. A nice little cut pass by, and we are into the box. Takes it in off the bar. We got lucky there. I will definitely agree that we got lucky in that one, because we got the header bounced right back to us. But again, that's what good positioning, being in that position, is going to help Lukaku. A lot of times, especially Manchester United, Lukaku likes to run forward, but in campaign in general, they like to run forward. So kind of go right at to where you know they're going. Try and meet up at the top of the box, hit that sprint tackle button. At least, at the very least, they'll backtrack and go the other direction. So here we go. Rashford comes in. We got to try and stop him. So we go and try and get in that position. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, in this one, we did get out of position, but enough time to control our goalie to get him kind of at least there. So that's one of the things. Try and get him to the outside. They have great shots, but if you can get him out, that's going to be helpful here. So 64th minute, we still need that one goal. We trip up by a bit at the top of the box, but doesn't enough to, or not enough to get a foul there. And then finally they get it off, and a lucky save again from our keeper. Alright, so off the corner right now, we're looking at this one. We're going to try and clear it out. When you're getting into that position, corners actually are fairly good for being on defense, but try and just put your player back as close as you can to the net, and then just start swiping that ball out to try and get the ball out of there. The other way that's actually probably more advantageous is to use the pass button too that you can do, and put the direction where you want to get it. We really just got to get it out as many times as you can. Again, on defense, we step in on that one. Jackson comes up, some good passing. That's going to be key to get yourself in that position. So if you can one-on-one them, when you're way far back in your own end, passing the ball, bringing it up that way is going to be more beneficial there. So we get to the top of the box here. We go for the free kick. We get a free kick drawn, and that is going to be key. You don't always get them called, but if you do, you got to make it count just like we did there. So best performance so far right here for us. 3-3, 80th minute. I know. I was pretty impressed with ourselves on this one, but Lukaku is going to come through. We have a momentary lapse in defense right here as we let them get into the middle. Mkhitaryan, you can see Lukaku right there, too aggressive on that tackle, and he's going to use his strength to get past. A nice save from the goalkeeper, though. So you saw as soon as we got past, we're swiping up on that second defender button to get there. They put it into the middle. They take the shot. Again, a lucky miss there because 85th minute, not the time you want to let them score on you. So we're starting in this one. We bring it out. We're just, okay, just take it easy, and then we give it right to Lukaku. Yeah. You can see how this is about to end right here. So Modric comes into the box. He just gets past to Lukaku, and we thought it was over. 90 plus 2 minute. You think, okay, well, that was a good effort, Stop D, but you're going to lose in regulation time. Nope. We come in, a nice cut right there to get past him, a double cut to get past Lukaku, especially the slower players. If you cut back and forth, you almost do better against the faster players because they lose that momentum. They're going too fast and they can't catch up with you, so use that to your advantage. Lots of quick cuts. The faster the player is against you can help you to get past them. So we end up getting it to the extra time, and here it is, full-time score, 4-4. I know, I'm impressed with myself. Anyways, we're going on to the next one. We come in, and here it is in extra time. Doing some good work trying to get past Lukaku. We get past him. The top of the box. The nerves take over. And De Gea makes the save. I know. Heartbreaking there as we go and cross it into the middle, try for the header, but it goes to the wrong team, and we're going to lose it. Mkhitaryan is going to bring it up, and he's going to bring it out. Now we got to go back on defense. Again, you see we're going to where Mata is. We're not going to his go to where he's going versus where he actually is. Rashford comes in. We're way out of position, and they are going to hit it off the bar. A very, very lucky play for us there, but you know what? We had a bit of a lucky one on their side, so kind of back and forth with some of this luck going on. Jackson's going to run it down the whole wing, but nowhere near enough speed, so we cut back, pass it into the middle, put it to our high dribbling player. He gets some room in the middle. We are in the box, and we swipe it wide. Oh man, the heartbreaking times of this in the 105th minute, that could have been it. That could have been it in that one as we go second half of extra time. Lukaku is going to try again. We make sure he goes back by checking him there. Pogba comes in on this one. He's going to pass out to Mata on the outside. He's going to try and move around with it, all those things. Pass back to Bailey. So Bailly goes in there. And he's going to come up. He's going to pass it. They're just doing a lot of ball movement. 1-11. Another opportunity, but we get called on the offside. I don't know. Pretty close call. Pretty close call there, but they're going to call that offside, so we're going to let it go on there, and we're going to bring it back up. Mkhitaryan with the stop. 1:13 right now. Dangerous position. We see here, this is the one. Mata is in this position. They are offside. The flag is on his head, and it counts it. I don't know. Watch this again. So the ball, he's standing offside, and if we slow it down, you can actually see that he really is in that offside position. A crushing way to have that end in the 117 minute, but we do get one extra chance to try and get it back. We get into the box. We take the strike and lose it last second to Pogba. 120 plus 1 minute. Rashford is going to run it out, and at this point, we know it's over. So there we go. There was the match with our full bronze squad. An unfortunate finish to that one, but hey, you know what? In the end, It was definitely our best performance yet. Thank you for checking this out and stopping by. It's been a pleasure as always. Stop D.